Hello students, I want to welcome you to Supreme Success Academy online lectures. Today in our physics class, we'll be treating the topic, types of circular motion. In our previous class, we looked into circular motion in relation with linear motion. And we studied linear displacement with respect to angular displacement, linear velocity with respect to angular velocity, linear acceleration with respect to angular acceleration, and we looked at the relationship between all these parameters. Today we'll be looking at horizontal circular motion and vertical circular motion. Horizontal circular motion is just like you tied a rope to an object and you are now whirling it like this. You are whirling it like this. It's also called conical circular motion. You have it like this. And you have your center at the top. Then this is the rope attached to the object with which you are whirling. So this rope, the object, we have a certain mass, which equivalent to a weight, mg. The horizontal circle in which the object is traveling, we have a certain radius. And this rope with which you are using to whirl the object is going to have a tension. The tension is always directed to the fixed point. That's the hand with which you are whirling the object. Now, if you look at this tension, it is inclined to the vertical. It has an angle of inclination. And because it is inclined to vertical, you can resolve this tension into two directions. You can have the vertical component and you can have the horizontal component. Because this guy is inclined to the vertical, if you are resolving it to the vertical component, it's going to give you t cos theta. And if you are resolving it to the horizontal component, it's going to give you t sin theta. Now that you have succeeded in resolving this guy, you can now come up and say, for every upward action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Therefore, your TV equals to mg. And what's the value of your TV is given by t cos theta equals mg. Call this guy equation 1. Then, look at this guy. He's moving in a vertical, he's moving in an horizontal circular motion. There is a centripetal force pulling the object towards the center of the circle. That centripetal force Fc is also equivalent to the what? Horizontal tension, or we say the horizontal tension is equal to centripetal force. And your horizontal component of the tension is given by what? Is given by T sin theta, and your Fc is given by mv squared over r. Call it what? Equation 2. Now just say divide equation 2 by equation 1. You have t sin theta over t cos theta equals to mv squared over r divided by mg. So your t cancels out. Your sin theta over theta gives us the trig identity called tan theta equals your mass cancels mass, then you have v squared over rg. This is the formula, or this theta is what we call banking angle. So this theta is what we call banking angle. Banking angle. So these are the formulas you need to undo any question on horizontal motion. For vertical circular motion, it's just like you tie a rope to this marker and you are whirling it like this. Not like this. You are whirling it like this. That's vertical circular motion. So you are going to have something like this. So you are going to have something like this. You have to take like 4 different positions of the object undergoing vertical circular motion. This is the center of the circle. Let's say this is our point A. When the object gets here, this is our point B. It comes down here, this is our point C, and it gets here, this is our point D. So, and we look at what is happening. For objects undergoing vertical circular motion, there are two forces acting on it, the weight of the object and the tension. This, let's call it T1. When the object gets here, the weight is going to act like this, mg. And the tension will act like this, let's call it T2. When the object gets to point C, the weight will be acting vertically downward and the tension will be acting upward, let's call it T3. And on getting to point D, your weight will still be acting like this and your tension will be acting back like this. Let's call this T4. So let's look at each of the cases at point A. At point A, what's happening there? For we to know the resultant force, because the two forces are moving in the same direction, we add together T1 plus what? Mg. Then make your T1 the subject of the formula. You have T1 equals to what? Fr minus Mg. Your resultant force is given by Na minus Mg. Mg equals T1. Then your T1 equals M bracket A minus G. This T1 is called the minimum tension. Minimum tension experienced by the what? By the string. Then let's look at which other point again? At point B. At point B. Or let's go to your point B. What's happening there? Your point B, your resultant force will equals to Mg minus T2. But because we are dealing with horizontal level here, your resultant force is going to be 0. Mg will equals to minus T2. Then you can say your T2 equals Mg. Then at point C, at point C, what is happening here? You can see that your resultant force is going to be your T3 minus Mg. Why? Because they are moving in opposite direction. To get the resultant force of two forces in opposite direction, you subtract. Then I believe you will want to ask me that why is it not Mg minus T3? The object is going up like this, which means T3 is greater than Mg. That is why we have it to be T3 minus Mg. So your Fr is Ma, T3 equals to Mg. Make your T3 the subject of the formula. You have Ma plus Mg. Then you have T3 equals Ma plus G. This is known as the maximum tension experienced by the string. And don't forget, this is minimum, the formula for minimum tension experienced by the string. So the next thing we need, so as our usual practice of solving 3 choice worked examples on each of the concepts taught, let's look into the 3 questions we have ahead of us. The first one, an object of mass 10 kilograms, don't forget, read it, record it, reason it, relate it, and result it. So mass is given by what? 10 kilograms. Is where in a horizontal circle of radius 4 meters, our radius is 4 meters, by revolving a string inclined to the vertical. If the uniform speed of the object V is what? 5 meters per second. Then what are we looking for? 1. We are looking for tension, question mark. Then what else are we looking for? Angle of inclination, question mark. If you look at this question, the formula we derived previously that has to do with tension, we have T sine theta equals to mv squared over r. And we also have T cos theta equals mg. So you cannot find tension without first finding your theta. And don't also forget that theta equals to tan inverse of v squared over rg. So let's first get our theta, tan inverse. Your V, it has been given to be 5 squared. Your radius has been given to be 4 meters. And your G has been given to be 10. So you have tan inverse of 25 over 40. So using your calculator, 25 divided by 40, then tan inverse of that value will give you 32 degrees. So your theta equals 32 degrees. Once you've gotten your theta, you can use either of these two equations to get your tension. So let's use T cos theta equals mg. Your T will now equals to mg over cos theta. What's your m? Your m is 10. Your g is also 10, constant, cos 32. Then you have your 100 over cos 32. You get your answer in Newton. So let's quickly move up to the second question. The second question, we are given an object of mass 0.8. An object of mass 0.8, mass equals to 8.0 kilogram, is swayed rapidly in a vertical circle, radius 2 meters. With a constant speed of 6 meters per second, have it in mind that this question is dealing with vertical circle, not horizontal circle like the previous question. So we are looking for what? T maximum. And we are looking for T minimum. And don't forget, I've given you the formula for your T max. Your T max is given by M bracket A plus G. And what is your M? 8. What's your A? Oh, you are not given acceleration, which means you need to first find your acceleration. From relationship we derived in our previous classes, acceleration is given by V squared over R. That's centripetal acceleration. Your V is 6 squared over R. Your R is what? 2. That's 36 over 2. Acceleration is 18 meters per second squared. So slot it into your T max. Your 8 bracket 18 plus G, which is 10, constant. This is 28 times 8. Then use your calculator, you get your answer. 28 times 8. You have your answer to be 224 Newton. Therefore, your minimum tension, we said the formula is MA minus G. You can just look for the derivations that we've done previously. You will see this is the formula we derive for it. Your M is 8, your acceleration is 18, and your G is 10, constant. So you have 8 times 8, that's 64 Newton. And the last question for the day, you are told that what? A mass of 0.2 kilogram, just write the given information as usual, mass 0.2 kilogram, in a horizontal circle. So this question has to do with horizontal circle. By a string 1 meter long, the length of the string is the same thing as the radius of the circle. So you have it to be 1 meter. Maximum tension, you are giving maximum tension this time around to be 50 Newton. What is the greatest number of revolutions per second? That's frequency. Frequency is the number of complete resolution in 1 second. I have defined this in our previous lecture. So for you to get frequency, you must know you need angular velocity. And for you to get angular velocity, you need acceleration. So bring up the formula for T maximum that says mass equals A plus G. So what's your T max? 50 Newton. What is your mass here? 0.2. Your A, that's the guy we are looking for. Plus G, is a constant, that's 10. This divided by this, you have 50 divided by 0.2 equals A plus 10. This is going to give you 250 minus 10 equals A. So your A equals 240 meters per second squared. That's your angular acceleration. I have given you the formula that relates linear acceleration with angular velocity to be A equals to W squared R. So make your W the subject of the formula. You have it to be A over R. So what is your A? 240. What is your R? 1. Then W equals to square root of 240. So what is the square root of 240? That is 15.5. So your W equals 15.5 radians per second. Then from that, you have your W equals to 2 pi F. Make F the subject of the formula. You have it to be W over 2 pi. So your 15.5 over 2, your pi is given as 3.142. Then you get your frequency by saying that divided by 2 times 3.142, then get your final answer to be 2.5 or 2.47 revolution per second. So that comes to the end of today's class on types of circular motion. Please, I'm going to drop some practice questions for you. Solve them. If you have some other questions that is giving you problem on these topics that we have treated, please put them into the comment section. We are going to respond to them. And I hope you've enjoyed this lecture. Kindly press the subscribe button and share with some other people to benefit from these valuable lectures. Cheers.